Welcome viewers. Our guest in this program is Ms. Stella Ndunda, and she's a well-known community member. She's active in the community in a number of things. So welcome, Stella.
Thank you so much.
Please tell us more about your community interests.
So in this community, I have different things that I do. I teach dance. I am a registered clinical counselor. I teach in Sunday school. I'm a member of different organizations. I do different things in the community. I've been here for many years and I find interest in several things, and yeah, I find myself involved in
Great. And
things.
what are the, excellent. What are the best things you like about our peace region?
You know what I'd say, the best thing are the people. You know, I lived in the Lower Mainland for many years before I moved here. And that's one of the things I noticed was just how people were very helpful and generous. I have a small car, and many times my car would get stuck in the snow, and I'd always have people to help me out. So people are very good, they're very hardworking, very helpful. So that's one thing that I think that stands out for me is just the people here just are really good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've had a good time.
Very good.
Yeah.
And what are your hobbies and interests?
Hobbies, I would say music. Music is a big part of my life. I'm listening to music, dancing to music. That I would say is probably my biggest hobby. I love meeting with people, socializing, cooking. But I'd say music is huge for me, definitely.
And in music, what is the particular music you are interested in?
Oh, I think my genre is so varied, really, because if it has a good beat, I probably like it. And I have friends who have different kinds of cultural music and would introduce me to it, and I'll listen to it. So if it sounds good, I most likely will listen to it. So I'm really open to listen to different kinds of music from different cultures or different languages, or so it's really varied. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And about your passion for Zumba dancing,
Yes.
I heard about it. So
Yes, I do have a passion for Zumba. I started, I was actually got involved in Zumba a few years ago. And how I got introduced actually is we were doing, I think, a Mother's Day walk or something. And some of the members from the World's Gym came over to do a class to help us warm up. And I was hooked from that point. And they gave us, I think, all a 1-week membership to the gym. And that whole week I attended the class and I just loved it. It really helped reduce stress, like after a long day of work. And after doing that for some time, I decided to go and become certified myself. And then once I became certified, I started hosting classes in the community. And then it just kind of went from there. And now I'm teaching at the Key Learning Center on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's really fun. It's a different way of workout. It's music, it's dancing, and people like to do something different besides the normal, maybe going to gym. So I think that it's received well by people.
great.
Yeah.
What has been the history of Zumba dancing?
Zumba actually started out with a man called Beto Perez from Colombia in the 90s. And he is actually from Colombia, but Zumba is a combination of different kinds of, so it's not only just Latin dancing, it has some hip hop in it, has some soca, so it's different kinds of dancing and different kinds of music. So he kind of took different kinds of genres of music and dancing and kind of combined into this Zumba class. But so it's big, it's not just only one area of the world. So yeah, he came up with it in the 90s and it's kind of stuck for a really long time.
And since 90s, so how many people are enjoying Zumba nowadays globally?
You know what, I was actually looking at the stat and it says that 15 million people per week go to Zumba classes in 180 countries.
Wow.
So it's more than a dance class, almost like a phenomenon or something, right? Because people really, I think it really resonated well with people, the idea of dance and fitness together, and it's just a lot of fun. I think people say it's so much fun. That's what they love. The energy in the classes is huge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you think there are similarities between Latin dancing and Zumba?
Well, Latin dancing is part of Zumba. So some of those Latin dances like salsa or merengue are part. He uses some of those in his moves. So, but Zumba is just a combination of many different kinds of dancing.
And at the same time, I have heard about another perspective which consider it to be very effective, very good, but they consider Latin dancing to be a little different and Zumba to be combination of other dances.
Yeah.
So these are two perspectives I've heard about.
Yes.
And let us see how it goes. Then, Latin dancing has its own strengths.
Yes.
And Despacito song, 4 billion views.
I know.
Why do you think it's such a hit?
I know, and you know what I found is it's not even the English version; it's the Spanish version that's a big hit. I don't know. I think it's the beats, and I think it's the different cultural aspect of it. I'm not sure, but I hear it all the time. And actually, my students, we're going to be doing a Despacito dance in my class because they're saying we want to dance to this song. So it's a really big deal everywhere. But I'm not sure why. It's just really catchy, and people really like the beats, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when did you get interested in Zumba dancing yourself?
I started getting interested in Zumba dancing about, I'd say, maybe 4 years ago. When I started going to, I went to a walk actually, was a Mother's Day walk. And then they did a warm-up class before the walk. And then it was the first time I was introduced to it. And then when the gym actually gave people 1 week free passes, and I went to the gym and I did Zumba class a few days that week. And that's when I completely got hooked into the class. And then I really enjoyed it so much, decided to actually go to Vancouver and get the certification myself. And I did that, I think, 2014. And then when I came back, I was offered to do some few classes in the community at the cultural center. And then that's how I started doing it on my own at that point. Yeah, so it's something that I really love and enjoy. And I think the passion and energy comes from me to my students, and they also enjoy the class as well.
Great. And how does Zumba enhance your energy level?
Zumba is really a huge stress reliever. It has a way of really making you really feel calm, really reducing that sort of nervousness or feeling restless. It kind of really brings you really to this moment of calm. And I noticed that so much for myself. After a long day of work, just doing a lot of mental and just physical, it can be very, very stressful. And after an hour of Zumba class, I just come out feeling so relaxed, just completely relaxed. And so it definitely has an impact that way, emotionally and mentally. So, I mean, the physical part is obvious, but the mental part is really big as well.
Good points.
Yeah.
And you're also a clinical counselor. And
Yes,
if we talk, excellent. If we talk about stress, so what are some general tips you would give to the community for relieving stress?
I would definitely say when it comes to stress, as you need to really be really cautious about what exactly may be causing the stress. Sometimes people are not even really aware what causes stress. They're not really aware how their bodies react to stress. So awareness is a big thing when it comes to stress. How does your body react? Your thoughts, what are you thinking about? What's going on? Are you overthinking about the situation? Are you catastrophizing the situation? So really knowing about how you deal with situations is so important. Many times why stress becomes a problem for us is because we are not aware of our own situations, how we think, how we process things. And really one of the things I do a lot with people I work with is really building awareness. How do you deal with situations, and then figuring out how to work through that. A good way of dealing with stress besides that is exercise. Exercise is really important. Eating well, sleeping right. Those things are, people forget about that when they are stressed. They may not eat properly or they may not sleep well. So some of those basic things, we start with the basic things first. And that's why I would definitely start with people is how are you sleeping? How are you eating? Are you exercising? Are you socializing? And then kind of build from there.
Good points.
Yeah.
And what do you think in the 21st century is causing so much stress?
Yeah, I don't even know. I think the statistics are that about 80, I think the last time I checked, about over 80% of people struggle with anxiety. And this is not just diagnosed, but just anxiety in general. And it also impacts the children as well, so it's not just for adults. So we obviously have a problem happening. I think that maybe the fast-paced society, social media, I think there's so many expectations on people, things are much more stressful. So I think so many combinations of things, but definitely anxiety is huge in our community and in our society now. It's become such a commonplace now. So I would say it's definitely a problem.
And what tips would you give to the community again to try to reduce the level of anxiety?
The big things that really helps with anxiety, it's a really simple exercise. It's a breathing exercise, being able to breathe in, hold in for a few seconds and breathe out. It's a very simple exercise, because what happens when we get anxious is our heartbeat goes really high. So many physiological things are happening, and sometimes just taking that few minutes to get your breathing back can really help your body get the oxygen back to your brain, back to your muscles, so then you can actually relax. So that's a big thing that really helps. Sometimes when people are feeling panicky, that's a really simple exercise. It's a breathing exercise. And of course, there's Zumba. People can come and dance. The stress away, and that really helps. Something about exercise and the music and the physical, can really help reduce your stress as well.
Good points.
Yeah.
And what information would you like to give to the community about timings of your classes?
So my Zumba class is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Key Learning Center gym from 6 to 7. So please come, and I have a Zumba page as well. So if you would like more information to be updated, please go to Zumba with Stella Facebook page, and I have all the information on that page as well. Yeah, so maybe some good resources in the community. If someone wants to find out if they would like to talk to someone, we have some few resources in the community. We have a community bridge. It's a good resource in the community. We have Northern Health has an office on the 3rd floor, the Pioneer Square building on the 3rd floor. You can talk to someone as well. Then we have varied counselors as well in the community, and I'm a registered clinical counselor with the British Columbia Association of Clinical Counselors. So if you go to that particular website, it lists down different counselors in the community. And so there's really lots of opportunities for learning more about that if someone is interested as well.
Good.
Yeah.
And what tips would you give to the teenagers to reduce their anxiety and stress?
Teenagers. I think I would say the first thing that is seemingly causing a lot of problem is all that technology time. And many kids are not really sleeping probably because they're on their cell phones all through the night or all this technology. I would say if you can shut down your technology 2 hours before you go to bed, that really makes a big impact. Try to shut down your cell phone or TV or whatever else and try and get in some of that sleep. Sure.
Would 2 hours be a little too idealistic? Maybe 2 minutes is a challenge?
Maybe 2 minutes. Well, yeah, but it does make an impact though. Because for teenagers, they need lots of sleep. And when that doesn't happen, it really does impact their mood.
Sleep is important.
Sleep is important, especially for them, because they need to get lots of hours in. Yeah.
Good points.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stella, for your services.
Thank you so
and we
much.
wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.